How are you all doing? Welcome back to Crypto Blitz, where you can get your fix. I'm Ripple Van Winkle, your host. I hope everyone is enjoying their Saturday. The date is December 21st. I will tell you now. I'm thrilled about football because today is a major football day. I'm excited to start at noon. We have 2 NFL games and 3 college games, with the first one starting at 4. Who is the Ohio State that was taken? We got them. It should be an incredible game. I got pulled up right here in Tennessee. We had Kansas City vs. Houston. It was Pitt vs. Balt. I'm not sure how those games will turn out. It might be a shootout or extremely low scoring, and I'm guessing it's a 1-3-1-0 kind of game. At noon, everything begins. I'm eager. This time of year is my favorite. I adore the playoff system in college football. In this episode, they merged something they ought to have done long ago. We will examine XRP. Because there is a social media notion that Bitcoin is outperforming XRP, we will be comparing the two. Guess what, though? That is not true. What about SpaceX? We came across a video clip discussing their desire to switch to a stablecoin and steer clear of the foreign exchange markets. Yes, exactly. We'll talk about that. There is much more going on. So without further ado, take a seat back and unwind. Let's go into Bitcoin, which is currently up 2.08% over the last day at $97,390. Ethereum is up 2.23%, closing at $3,400, while XRP is trading at a mean slim 2.24 cents. Just in the middle of our resistance and support areas, USDT and USDC are both coming in at 99 cents. It has risen 3.65% over the last day. Total market capitalization of cryptocurrencies, $3,357 billion. We still have a long way to go before reaching $4 trillion, but you know how quickly money can return to these markets and how quickly the market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies may increase. The price of your XRP comes next. It's not so bad, is it? Makes you completely forget about the recent downturn. What dip? Some would wonder. And I generally concur with them. People, what dip? Take a look at this. In December 2014, you could acquire 43,000 XRP for 1 Bitcoin. Guess what? At today's values, 1 Bitcoin can get you 43,000 XRP. Can someone put me in the right direction? To the underwhelming performance here, as I honestly don't see it. XRP appears to be tightly linked to Bitcoin, isn't that right? That's 10 years, from 2014 to the present. Thus, it made no difference over 10 years. Isn't it intriguing? Because we witnessed the story that is spread on social media. The narrative that is discussed in relation to XRP is that it is underperforming both Bitcoin and the market as a whole. That isn't the case, though, if you truly zoom out and see the bigger scene at scale. That isn't true. And people simply observe that XRP is only worth, say, $2.25 and Bitcoin is worth 95,000. It makes no difference. The cost has no bearing on it. The amount of return you receive is what counts in this situation. And I frequently tell people that because many people go into a bull market and say, Rip, I'm going to invest X dollars in the market, I can obtain, say, 300 of this coin, but I only get 10 with the same 500, which makes it rather difficult. More of the currency, please. How? Any coins you have is irrelevant. That is completely unimportant. That is merely a mental roadblock. The quantity of excess that coin will generate is what counts in this situation. For instance, let's imagine Solana is $100. Let's say that the price of XRP is 50 cents. At 50 cents, you will undoubtedly be able to obtain a bag of XRP that is twice as large as Solana's. Or pardon me, we're going to save $50 for this simple calculation. XRP costs $50. Solana costs $100. 2 times as much XRP will be available to you, but if XRP only drops to $1, if Solana goes to $300, you've done a 3x, but you've only done a 2. What will print you a bigger return then? Observe how the quantity of tokens has no bearing on this. It's the quantity of excess generated here. The XRP chart is very basic. We discussed it in the first video, which I have saved for your reference. Right now, we are sitting and bouncing between 2 support levels, 220 and 225. If we can break above 225, we will have the clear path to get the green light and move up to the $2.35 XRP. Your chop zone is here. Because XRP handles resistance like no other, there is a lot more red heading up. And a great deal is created. A new deadline for the Ripple lawsuit has been set by the U.S. Court of Appeals. This isn't the case of CCV, Ripple. Don't be misled by it. The Zankanoff guy is one example of this. Remember Zankanoff? He was that man who claims he bought XRP because Ripple was pushing it, lost $100 and is now attempting to sue. We discussed derivatives, and the new date is Monday, December 23rd, which is 2 days from now. It appears that Bitstamp and Robinhood will go down in 2025, based on what we've heard. Naturally, we'll hold off on introducing that until we have more direct or lucid sources. On the XRP ledger, Bitstamp is reportedly developing a futures exchange, and Robinhood, which is in use, will purchase them in 2025. However, we must remember what Kendra Hill said about this. Consider cross-border payments as a good test case to get Ripple ready for the use case they have been concentrating on since the start, she advises. Ripple's real goal is to manage all of the transactions that occur in the derivatives market. So why don't they inform the public about this for a number of reasons? The primary one is that they are not prepared. One of the pieces of the puzzle that they are lacking is called Codius. Isn't that intriguing? According to Max Avery, Stefan Thomas said 2 months ago that he was working on a new version of Codius, which was stated a few years ago. At this point, we learn that Bitstamp is developing a derivatives exchange on the XRP ledger, and that Bitstamp will be acquired by Robinhood. Let's watch how this all develops. Then we have this. When trying to make reimbursements in long-tail nations, SpaceX uses stablecoins that collect payments from Starlink clients because they don't want to deal with wire transfers or take on the FS risk. What will they do in its place then? In other words, they will convert it to stablecoins, send it to the United States, and then convert it back to US dollars. Pay attention. I know the music isn't playing. I'm using the incorrect source. Let's get started. Let me return. Let's get started. Pay attention. The point is that many businesses you wouldn't expect, like SpaceX, employ these stable currency. How? When they aggregate payments from all of these long-tail nations, how do you believe they collect money from all of the Starlink customers? They do not necessarily wish to assume the foreign exchange risk or FX risk. Sending wires is something they don't want to handle. Thus, they will switch to a stable coin, return it to the US, and then convert it back to US currency. Thus, it's a really practical tool. The first is that I believe those rails, which are the standard rails in the US, should be made. This enables us to gradually eliminate the bank's outdated infrastructure, which slows down and taxes a process that shouldn't have been taxed in the first place. This is quite fascinating. The rippling of SpaceX stablecoin launches in the US. XRP received security clearance. To get around the FS, they want to switch to a stablecoin. Chris is seeking for a means to speed up their system and can't handle transmitting wires. Elon loves his digital assets, as we all know. He is a crypto enthusiast. When he takes office on January 20th, we can be certain that he is collaborating with President Trump. We also know that we have a new crypto czar. Remember that. This story is from Binance Square, and while I am aware that anyone can publish articles from Binance Square, this does not imply that it is an official source. However, they discuss the SpaceX connection between Elon Musk and Ripple in this article. I'll repeat it again, anyone could write this piece. Yet everything that has been foreseen in the past is beginning to correspond with the announcements or occurrences that we are currently receiving. I want to draw attention to that here. Isn't this a little crazy? How does everything line up? Does it make sense, really? Why would SpaceX utilize an unaudited stablecoin like Tether? We have no idea where the money is coming from, how it got back, or how it got there. Why wouldn't they utilize a stablecoin with worldwide coverage that operates on the XRP ledger, where money transfers take only a few seconds and cost a fraction of a penny? Why not? Why not incorporate that? That just seems like the most sensible course